From Jaffa Gate in Jerusalem, the entrance of the new Custos, Brother Francesco Ielpo, who will lead the custody of the Holy Land for the next 6 years. The Church of the Holy Family in Gaza, part of the Latin Patriarchate of Jerusalem, was struck on July the 17th by an Israeli shell, causing the death of 3 civilians. Following this tragic event, we recount the visit of Patriarchs Pierbattista Pizzapalla and Theophilus III to the faithful of that community. 370 children, 80 group leaders behind the scenes of the summer camp of the Latin parish of Beit Hanina, Jerusalem, a welcoming church that through prayers, songs and moments of reflection helps everyone learn to recognize Christ, light in times of difficulty. On July the 21st, 2025, at Jaffa Gate, historically used for the entry of diplomats and kings into the Holy City, Brother Francesco Ielpo entered solemnly to officially assume his role as Custos of the Holy Land. A joyful procession accompanied him through the streets of the city to the Church of Saint Saviour, seat of the custody of the Holy Land and spiritual and administrative centre of the Franciscan presence in the holy places. The Custos was received by the General Visitor, Brother Alois Voirot, who read the official letter from the Minister General, Brother Massimo Fusarelli, declaring him Guardian of Mount Zion and Guardian of the Holy Sepulchre.
Ogni custode comincia anche una nuova tappa della storia.
Each Custos begins a new chapter in history, and certainly today's history is very complicated, tragic in many ways, but let us not forget that this type of situation is the daily bread of the Holy Land. So I hope that the new Custos, not alone but supported by the friars, by the local people and by the local Christians, will enter this reality as a messenger of peace. After making the profession of faith and assuming the office of Custos of the Holy Land, another very significant moment followed. The new Custos received from the hands of his predecessor, Brother Francesco Patton, the seal sign of his apostolic ministry founded on the Lord. It is very beautiful for what it represents. On our seal there are 2 scenes referring to the upper room. In the lower half of the seal is Jesus washing the disciples' feet. In the upper part is Pentecost, the descent of the Holy Spirit upon the apostles gathered in the cenacle with Mary. So this is also a way of saying to the Custos, you continue this service which must be in line with the service of washing feet. You continue to be a promoter of that charity Jesus gave us as a new commandment in the cenacle. You also continue to be docile to the Spirit, together with the friars of the custody, to carry forward this mission. The presence of representatives of the local churches, diplomatic authorities from various countries, religious communities and people of God was a sign of gratitude for the mission that the Friars Minor have carried out for more than 8 centuries at the heart of Christendom. In his first words to the assembly, the Custos gave thanks for their presence, declaring that he felt like Peter, called by Jesus to do something unexpected. In this troubled moment in the history of the Holy Land, Brother Francesco Ielpo wants to follow the invitation to keep his eyes fixed on Jesus and invited the friars to do the same.
L'incarico è gravoso. È gravoso in questo momento storico in modo particolare.
The responsibility is heavy. It is especially so in this historical moment with all the pain and suffering that this land is experiencing and the cry for peace, justice and well-being that everyone is calling for and needs. So I am fully aware, I'm conscious of this responsibility, of this commitment and of the honor that is being asked of me. But at the same time, I'm also confident because the Lord never gives a burden without also giving the grace to carry it. And I'm also greatly comforted by the fact that I'm not alone. There is a fraternity of friars who are the ones who, day after day, for years, for 8 centuries, have been in the places, giving hope to the people. To conclude the event, the friars solemnly prayed Vespers, presided over by the new Custos. Thus began, trusting in the eternal mercy of the Lord, the 6-year mandate of Brother Francesco Ielpo as Custos of the Holy Land. A blatant violation of all human and religious values, the Church of the Holy Family in Gaza, belonging to the Latin Patriarchate of Jerusalem, was struck on July the 17th by a shell from an Israeli tank, killing 3 innocent civilians, Najwa Abu Dawood, Saad Salama and Fumia Ayad. 9 others were injured, including Father Gabriele Romanelli, parish priest of the community. In the early morning hours, we were hit by a shelling that struck the church and its outer courtyard, where people, especially the elderly, usually sit after Mass. My mother was there. We are all innocent people. We have no ties to anything. We sought refuge in the church. To target civilians and churches is a criminal, unacceptable and unjustifiable act.
We are not going to be wiped out. We remain there. We are stable there. We are determined to remain there. Of course, someone maybe will leave, but we will remain there. We will never give up, and we are not afraid. Of course, we are concerned, but we are not afraid. Has to be. We have to say this very clearly. After what happened also today, we are determined even more to continue with our presence and so on. We are working in all the different channels, diplomatic, non-diplomatic, media, whatever, in order to stop this nonsense, which is morally and humanly unjustifiable, and to raise our voice, to let the public opinion to be aware about what is going on. And of course, at the same time, we are working and organizing also with all those who are involved, those are, have these responsibilities to introduce food and medical equipment. We are working on this, and at the end we will manage, because we have been able in the past. We will continue also for the future.
How can one accept the killing of unarmed civilians who sought refuge within the walls of the house of God after losing everything? Striking the Church of the Holy Family is a message to every living conscience, to all politicians and decision makers. Stop this madness. Nothing can justify violating the sacredness of human life and holy places. In a message to the Christians of Gaza, Cardinal Pizzaballa reaffirmed, "We will never abandon you."
We are proud of you, first of all. We thank you for the testimony you are giving. As I said more than once, they are our light. Because the way they are living, the conditions they are living, but also the style they are giving in this conflict is showing what is the Christian strength, which is not power.
In the midst of the conflicts and tensions of the Middle East, we Christians remain children of hope. We believe that he who walked the path of suffering, was crucified and died, has risen from the dead and given us his salvation. On July the 22nd, at the Notre Dame Center in Jerusalem, the Greek Orthodox Patriarchate and the Latin Patriarchate held a joint press conference following the visit of Patriarchs Pierbattista Pizzaballa and Theophilus III to the faithful of the parish community in Gaza.
To the international community, we say, silence in the face of suffering is a betrayal of conscience.
It is time to end this nonsense, end the war, and put the common good of people as the top priority.
The two patriarchs expressed their deep sorrow for what they witnessed in Gaza.
We encounter a people crushed by the weight of war, yet carrying within them the image of God. Among the broken walls of the Church of the Holy Family and the monastery of St. Porphyrios, the wounded hearts of their faithful, we witnessed both profound grief and unyielding hope.
It is important to emphasize and repeat that our mission is not for a specific group, but for all. Our hospitals, shelters, schools, parishes, St. Porphyrios, the Holy Family, the Al-Ahli Arab Hospital, Caritas, are places of encounter and sharing for all, Christians, Muslims, believers, doubters, refugees, children.
Patriarch Pizzaballa emphasized that humanitarian aid is not optional. It is a vital necessity. It is the difference between life and death. Delaying is not just negligence, it is a death sentence for the innocent. He also added, Christ has not abandoned Gaza. He shines in every act of mercy.
When this war is over, we will have a long journey ahead of us to begin the process of healing and reconciliation between the Palestinian people and the Israeli people, from the too many wounds this war has caused in the lives of too many.
I just wanted to ask if you could tell us a bit more about levels of hunger.
In the heart of Jerusalem, over 370 Christian children gather for the summer camp at the Terasanta Pastoral Center. Together with more than 70 young group leaders, they spend a month immersed in games, faith and belonging, far from daily tensions.
Perché questo centro infatti è molto più di uno spazio fisico per questa gente cristiana qua, per questa gente locale.
This center is much more than just a physical space for local Christian people. For participants, for the children, for their families, as I've mentioned, it represents a second home. The camp is remarkable for its rich variety of activities, pastoral and educational moments, games, sports, cooking workshops, and opportunities for social growth. It's an initiative for all children in their entirety, helping them grow in values and relationships, especially since they come from many different rites.
Che coinvolge tutti i bambini nella loro totalità, aiutandoli a crescere nei valori, nelle relazioni tra di loro, perché vengono da tanti riti.
The theme chosen for this year, as the parish priest tells us, is In You My Hope, a powerful message in tune with the Jubilee. Through prayers, songs and moments of reflection, the youngest learn to recognize Christ as a light in times of difficulty. First of all, we want to strengthen the sense of belonging to the Christian community in Jerusalem. We do this through various activities: play, sports, spiritual moments, identity and cultural activities about Jerusalem, excursions, organized games. The children come to this camp to spend an entire month away from school pressure, politics, war and social tensions.
بعيدا عن ضغط الدراسة بالمدرسة، بعيدا عن أجواء السياسة وأجواء الحرب والوضع.
Here, every activity is more than just a pastime. It's a chance to educate in hope, culture and faith. From age 3 through adolescence, children and teens grow together under the loving gaze of the Church.
I'm really happy here. We do so many activities, and it's wonderful that every day we have something special. We play together all the time. We mix teams. We don't always have to stay in the same group, and that's something really nice about this camp. Even in the summer, instead of staying home, we spend a great time here, and we're all very happy. At the Terasanta camp, we Christian boys and girls get to know Jesus more. We attend Mass every week, and that's a really beautiful thing.
Between games, workshops and moments of faith, this summer camp is not just a break from school, it's a school of life. Because even here in Jerusalem, children learn that hope is a seed to be cultivated together. The most important value we want to pass on to our children is the sense of belonging to the Holy Land, the land where Jesus was incarnated, lived, and from where he brought the message of salvation to the whole world. This land is the homeland of Jesus. We are here to celebrate and live this vocation with love. On Thursday, July the 17th, 2025, Sister Regina Caniti was called to the presence of God. Of Jewish origin, she became a Catholic nun. A life journey guided by Providence led her to 80 years of consecrated life. We remember her and offer to God our prayer of gratitude for a life entirely dedicated to the Lord. On July the 22nd, the Fraternity of the Holy Sepulchre celebrated the solemnity of St. Mary Magdalene at the altar dedicated to her, honouring the one described as the Apostle of the Apostles. She saw the Lord and announced to the world that he is risen and alive. With Brother Eduardo Maceo, we retrace the key historical moments of the custody's history in the Holy Land. In a 3-part series, we explore the early Franciscan presence, the first places where the friars settled, and the current headquarters of the custody. Brother Eduardo guides us through this missionary journey spanning over 8 centuries. Open yourself to a gesture of solidarity and support the mission of the Custody of the Holy Land. The Christian Media Center spreads the good news of Jesus by making known to the world the spirituality of the holy places and the lives of the Christians who live here. Your contribution will help us bring the proclamation of the risen Lord, the most urgent of all, to men and women of every language and nation. To help us concretely, open the QR code. Your choice makes a difference.